everybody and online course creators here on Facebook. I don't work with Lifter LMS, but I am part of the masterminds and stuff that Chris will hold on Thursdays. And I had some time in between some calls, and I thought I would just try and assist with something that I had seen posted to online course creators. You should be seeing now on the screen a post by Francis asking about good documentation for using groups. You said you installed it and tested it, but you can't find out how to mass enroll students in a group, things like that. And then there's a comment in there from Jeff also. So, hey guys, I go through this myself, and I just wanted to throw it out there that I played around with groups right away. Was kind of an early adopter, did beta 1, beta 2, and important, this isn't a it's not a plug-in extension that automatically updates because it's still in beta. And so I had problems with the first version of the plugin. And when I sent in a support ticket, I got back a thing saying, to load the new extension up, right? The new version, beta 2. And so I'm showing you the back end of my site here. And you can see where I've got groups installed. And we'll go in here and we'll take a look at a couple of the groups that I've put into place. I've got Motorcycles of Charlotte and Greensboro. These are those are two motorcycle dealerships that have agreed to be part of a beta program that I'm running. So if I'm going to be beta testing groups, who better to put into a beta testing program than my beta clients, right? So I put those guys in there. It's two different dealerships. And you'll notice over here where it says seats and members, I've only got like 5 members in there, but it took up 13 seats. That was one of the problems that I had with using groups myself. So interestingly enough, recognizing that it was a beta program, I didn't want to send in support tickets and bother people on something they were building. But when I spoke to Chris, he was very adamant that we're actually doing them a service, right? To send them, like kind of like debugging issues and stuff like that we run into. So I did. I sent in the thing that said, hey, my seats aren't being taken up the way that I want them to. In a perfect world, I would have someone in a group, and let's say it's a person and they have 10 employees. Well, and then I'm going to give them 11 seats, right? That person and 10 employees. And then each of the email invitations that group sends out, they would take up a seat. Well, what happened in this case was people weren't getting through like the first. I think they were trying multiple times to sign themselves up and not seeing that they were signed in. And so it ended up taking more seats out of the inventory, which of course shouldn't happen. So I believe that they're working on that now. Now, if I were to view Motorcycle of Charlotte's or Resonate, which is another group that I work with, let's go with Resonate because there's only 2 out of 30 seats filled there. I'm going to pull up the group, and this is the way that the group looks on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see that in there. I've got the cover page, the cover image done, and I've got the profile image in, and you can see that you've got about, members, reports, and settings. And so because you're the administrator, let me turn that off. When you're the administrator, you can see the settings and all that stuff, right? And then you can see members. Well, it looks like members, it says there's 2 seats taken up, and I'll go to members. Ta-da. And I'm the only one here, right? But I'm a leader and a member. And so I can't figure out if it's taking up 2 seats because I have 2 spots. I'm not sure exactly what that is. But let's go to answer one of the questions. See where it says manage right here? This is how you add people in. You can invite members this way. So let's use the example of I have the 1 leader and the 10 employees that he's going to put in the system. Well, then what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to go to this screen and invite his members, right? So I've got a couple of email addresses that I can use, say jimmy@manananomas.com, and then I'm going to put in a comma. And when I put in the comma, that adds that tag in there, right? And then let's say I want to put in my son, Hayden James Von On. Oh, I'm screwing up my own name. There we go. Von Onen he's a gmail.com. And again, I'll do the comma, and that adds the tag, right? And then when I click send invitation, it's going to send an invitation out to those 2 new members. When they click on the invitation link and accept it, they will, and I'm going to just close this now. They'll automatically be enrolled in the membership that I associated with the group, right? So hopefully I'm making sense there. That membership can be altered in settings. And we're getting there, okay? In settings, right here, I can say, here's the name of the group. Here's the address slug, right? So you can give it a custom URL to go with your site. Visibility, I made it a private group. If I click on the caret over here, I can say that it's private or closed, okay? And then the course or membership. I can go in here and I can add or change the level of membership that I want to give somebody. So I have a fixed operations training course. I could erase resonate and put in fixed operations. And then when I save it, the content off on the right will change. This content box over here under membership, that's kind of a confirmation box for you that it's associated the membership or the content within that membership to the group. Okay. And what's really cool is remember I said they'll accept the invite in their email, and then when they do that, they'll be added as the group. When they do that, they're going to get a let me close the share screen here. When they accept the email with the invite, and I know this because I sampled it and tested it, they get, if you have your notifications activated, down the right side of the screen, it's going to be like, ping, you've joined this group. Ping, you've been added to this membership. Ping, you've been added to this course within this membership. Ping, you've been added to this course within this membership. Ping, you did that. And so it basically fills out the student's dashboard with all of that information. Now, I know that groups is still in development, and I know that they'll be adding things to it. They had talked before about being able to centralize billing out of that and all kinds of things. For my purposes, groups is fantastic. Power sports, marine, and automotive dealers, and hopefully RV and bicycle dealers soon will be clients of mine. And a lot of these clients have multiple locations. So in the future, using groups will be great for me because I'll be able to go to, one person that's in charge of 5 or 6 dealerships with 5 or 10 people at each dealership, right? And they'll be able to manage their users, and they'll be able to pull reports and see what people have done or haven't done. In fact, give me one more moment here. I'm going to go back into that screen, and I'm going to take you back to groups, because I know that in that group that I have for the power sports training, I know that I've got people in there that have taken courses. And this is something that you can show people that you assign as leaders. If you go in here and I'll say, we'll go back to view again, Motorcycles of Charlotte and Greensboro. When we go to reports will tell us what students are in their accounts and the progress they've made within their courses, right? Their enrollment and the progress that they've made. And of course, it will cycle on to a secondary page as well to take in the rest of the members and show what's been going on there. Like I said, I know that this is still under development, but in the future, as it develops, imagine I should be able to centralize the billing through the group to a single person, the person that would be the administrator of that group, right? The leader of that group. And they'll be able to pull their own reporting so that they'll be able to manage their own users and take some of the burden off of me as the person that manages the whole site. And then, of course, there is the About page, which I kind of skipped right over. I'm sorry, guys, I get to talking fast. But the About page is a great place to just kind of put a summary of what the group is for, who's invited to the group, why the group's restricted. And, of course, the leader or the manager of that group can fill that information out, right? And then, like I said, whatever you have set in your settings to be the association as far as training content goes is what populates the right side of the screen under membership. So right here you see fixed operations membership, and anyone that signs into this group will automatically be assigned to the fixed operations membership. Now, I don't quite know how everybody does their memberships and their courses and stuff. I have all of my courses just loaded up into my courses page, and then I'll stop the share again. I have all of my courses loaded into a courses page. I've got like 14 courses now. And then I've got different memberships I build to house different groups of courses. So I have like a fitness course, I have a fixed operations course, I have a personal improvement course, I have a home productivity course, membership, home productivity membership, which I instituted during the COVID crisis to group certain courses that I thought worked really well for people studying from home. And then I use those to kind of self-populate the student's dashboard when they register for a certain membership. And so I've been playing a lot with that kind of content. And I can see a future where using groups to engage at that level will be something that comes in really handy for me, especially since I plan on adding a fair amount more courses, and they're kind of diversified. So when I can break those into memberships that associate better, I think it gives me the ability to seem more consistent in my messaging to certain clients, if that makes sense. I hope that works. I know that I talk fast, but I'm hoping that you guys can see what's going on there. And the reason that there might not be detailed documentation yet is because it's still very much in beta and not done yet. So, and if I misspoke or if I need correction, by all means, Chris or someone on staff at Lifter LMS can feel free to correct me. But I didn't want to leave the questions unanswered and thought I could answer these quickly by video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.